One by one, a revolution is taking place in all of Africa, and we are proud to say we contributed to it. The people of Togo have had enough of the Gnassingbé family, who have ruled them since 1967, from father to son. Today is the third day of burning and roadblocks in protest of the resignation of Faure Gnassingbé, president of Togo. This president was handed over power by his late father in 2005, and for 20 years he has stayed on as a president. Then last year, he introduced a constitutional reform that took the power from the people in choosing who becomes the next president into the hands of parliamentarians. And in May of this year, Togo's parliament approved the constitutional reform, ladies and gentlemen. So now they've abolished the direct presidential elections and transferred that authority to what they term as Council of Ministers, who will elect a president with no term limit, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that Faure Gnassingbé will continue as president for as long as his political party holds majority seats in parliament. And his political party, ladies and gentlemen, the Union for the Republic, currently holds 108 out of 113 seats in Togo's National Assembly, which only leaves behind 5 seats for 4 opposition parties. This is what has triggered the uprising. Take a look at what's happening in Lomé, the capital of Togo right now. The people are rising, ladies and gentlemen. You see, his party has captured the National Assembly with an unfair election practices for many decades, and therefore it is almost impossible for any party to win majority seats and remove him. So the youth and students and social media activists and a rapper by name Amron had to mobilize the rest of the people and call for an end of this authoritarian system. Ladies and gentlemen, the rapper Amron was arrested in May for inciting the people against the government and was released on June 21st. The security forces of Togo have responded to this public uprising with tear gases and raiding people's homes. So far, 6 people are confirmed dead and hundreds arrested by the police. But in spite of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, the people insist they won't stop until the president resigns and the constitution is restored. The economic hardship is enough in Togo. Fuel prices have gone up, which has affected prices of all goods. The state manipulates media. Youth unemployment is so high and corruption has taken over the country. Togo, with 9.7 million population, has had just 4 presidents since independence in 1960. Their first president, Sylvanus Olympio, who led them into independence, was shortly overthrown by the current president's father. His father actually claimed to have shot and killed Olympio near the U.S. Embassy in Togo, which allowed for Nicolas Gronitzky to take over as the next president of Togo. Then 3 years later, this same father of the current president of Togo overthrew Nicolas and this time installed himself as president of Togo. He did all this with the full backing of the French government, ladies and gentlemen. Gnassingbé Eyadema was his name, and he was trained in the French colonial army. And since that time till now, his family has occupied the seat of the presidency of Togo. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better time than now to fight for what is right. Now is the time to demand true freedom and independence in Togo. Every economic indicator of Togo looks bleak at this point. Togo public debt to GDP is between 67 to 70%. They have 2 major industries that actually form the backbone of the economy: phosphate export and their free port. Togo's port was operated by the Mediterranean Shipping Company for years, and Togo only had 5% stake in it until 2023, when they won a legal dispute case and took over 30% share of the port. Aside that, the rest of the country depends largely on subsistence agriculture. This uprising is only happening now because of a certain soldier by name of Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, who took over power via a coup and has since brought massive development to his country. This is happening because social media made it possible for us to see in real time what is happening in Burkina Faso as compared to what we see in our individual countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Togo realize they've been left behind. They were made to believe what they had in the Gnassingbés was the best they could get until social media and Captain Ibrahim Traore happened. Now the light bulb is lit. Now the people have realized if there will ever be a change that can transform their country, they will have to effect it, because the military of Togo is right in the pocket of the president, and the French government is standing next to the government. The president has successfully tamed all the relevant institutions within the country that can challenge his position. Ladies and gentlemen, the head of the police and the military are his father's people who have been willed to him. They swear their allegiance to the president and not to the state. I can promise you this: they are going to come after the Togolese people who join in this uprising one after the other and silence them permanently like his father did. This is how they have been successful in the last 58 years in office. Ladies and gentlemen, this uprising, if continued, will be a super bloody one. A lot of lives will be lost, and many will be jailed and assaulted by the government. But if the people of Togo don't give up and persist, no force from the military and the police combined can stop them. Ladies and gentlemen, change is not for everybody, but for those that are willing to risk it all. Many of us desperately want change, but we want the change that will cost us nothing. It doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't work like that. In order for change to happen, something must give. This goes to the people of Benin and Nigeria, Kenya, Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, the Republic of Congo, Uganda, Eritrea, and Djibouti. Change is not a wishful thinking. It will cost you a lot. I remember in 2013 when Robert Mugabe was still president of Zimbabwe, and I had a hot altercation with a Zimbabwean in South Africa. He always complained about how the local South Africans treated them. And this went on for a while until one day I said in a loud tone to him, "Go home and fight. Go home and fight for what you are asking for in South Africa. They fought and many died for you to come in and enjoy what you enjoy." Mugabe had been sitting as a president for many decades until that time, and all the youth in Zimbabwe were migrating to South Africa. I said to him, "You don't have the courage to fight for your freedom in your home country, but you found the courage to fight for it in another man's country or land? That's hypocritical." Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last time me and that Zimbabwean friend ever spoke. He just distanced himself from me. We have to be truthful to ourselves as black people. We have the responsibility to fight for what we want, where we are from first. Most people cannot make one video post of what they feel about their country for the fear of losing their jobs and friends. Many people will rather hide their identity as anonymous commentators for fear of an attack. Meanwhile, they hate everything and everyone happening around them, people that are pushing the agenda. How do you make progress like this, ladies and gentlemen? And others in the comfort of their rooms with their phones will comment and say whatever they want to people who are actually at the forefront. Ladies and gentlemen, we must stop the hiding and running and begin talking and moving. You want to go to Europe and America and enjoy your life and leave the rest behind to suffer in Africa? Do you know how long the West fought to see this peace they have today? Do you know how many people have died in Europe and in America to build the standard you are yearning for? Ladies and gentlemen, you are the coward. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the coward. You that is sitting there and writing all those comments every day. All you do is throw stones. Wake up, people. We can rescue our continent from these clueless clowns who have chosen to remain in power no matter their performance. We can make that change starting from today. Be a part of something meaningful before you die. For whether you live 100 years or 30, you will still die. Make your living count for something. Togo is activated today, which country will be next in Africa? Africa must be free from both Westerners and dictatorships. President Faure, 20 years in office is enough. If there was anything you could do for the people of Togo, you would have done it already. See your counterpart in Rwanda. See how fast he has transformed his country in almost the same time that you have had in Togo. I believe this message will find you and you will reconsider your position as a lifetime president. For Togo must develop for all at all costs. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. Be kind to subscribe and share the link until every African sees this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll come your way with another one. Until then, God bless you and God bless the people of Togo. It is bye-bye for now.